Yeah, so I just stayed up all night to watch the first 3 episodes of The Resort, using a trial on Peacock because my parents still have cable because they're old people. Yeah, so it's the same filmmakers as Palm Springs, if you've seen that. It's Andy Samberg and the mom from How I Met Your Mother, and it's basically Groundhog Day in Palm Springs. Awesome, awesome movie. If you haven't seen it, it was like a Sundance hit. It's fantastic. It's this sort of self-aware, like magical realism, time travel, but also sort of the tragedy of life kind of thing. It was great and it was hilarious. Yeah, and this show, The Resort, very much the same, very same tone. The mother from How I Met Your Mother is one of the main characters in it, so far so good. The husband she has, because they're this married couple and they're in Cancun, it's an all-inclusive resort, and they're kind of celebrating their 10-year anniversary, but obviously I wouldn't even say they're on the rocks. They're just unhappy, or at least she is unhappy. Not even with the marriage, I feel like. Yeah, so it's How I Met Your Mother girl, the guy from The Good Place, and she finds this cell phone, and she finds out it's from 2007. This kid went missing right before a hurricane knocked out an entire resort next door, and so they never found this kid, and so she sort of goes into true crime mode as to sort of occupy herself, because again, she needs something to do, because dealing with yourself is something you don't want to deal with. That's a human experience, I feel. And so she sort of starts going down the trail of going around Cancun trying to figure out what happened to this kid, and then this other girl that this kid was with, she finds out. And so that's half the story. The other half of the story is you actually flash back to 2007 and you see what's going on with this kid, that he has this entire series of events happen to him and this girl. It's wild. Yeah, so far I've only seen the 3 episodes because that was available. I think it's either 8 or 10 episodes total, so compared to Palm Springs, which was 90 minutes, this is 8 hours, or, at least 4 hours, maybe 6 hours of storytelling. I'm interested to see where it goes because it's fun. It's silly. The episodes are like 35-ish minutes long, so they're basically half-hour episodes. But it's not campy. It's very self-aware, sort of like a real take on relationships and who you are and who you want to be and what do you care about. With this sort of layer of true crime, search party vibes, if that makes sense. It's not quite as sort of silly and polished as the Only Murders in the Building, I feel. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. But I may not be a good example of somebody who came in cold, because I was really wowed by Palm Springs. I consider that a high on my list of the last sort of 10 years of movies. So, yeah, I think it's worthwhile to go see. It's on Peacock, so it's behind a paywall, which is kind of unsettling, but it seems like everything's under a paywall these days, so it is what it is. Maybe your parents are old and have cable too. Yeah, it's the only really thing I would say to end this with is you can sort of tell it's very similar to like The White Lotus or Nine Perfect Strangers, these sort of high concept ensemble shows that take place at a resort. And part of that is because we're dealing with this world crisis that, if I say, I would get demonetized if I had enough people to monetize. Yeah. So they're bubbling. Their cast and crew are clearly having to be on this resort. I feel like some shows do a better job of hiding the fact that everybody is bubbling and everybody's trying to keep 6 feet apart. This show doesn't seem as concerned about that, which I appreciate. So, yeah, I'm on board for however many more episodes there are. But again, I have a special place in my heart for Palm Springs too. So that is that.